Kari Lake is just not stopping, and we're going to speculate about why that might be in a second here. But first, I have clips for you that are just sad, deeply sad and embarrassing, because she's now having to surround herself with people who pretend, that she's going to become governor still. The election has been certified. The analogy I used previously was because she had used it playing in the Super Bowl, and she was using some Super Bowl analogy. But the real analogy is that the Super Bowl occurred, you lost, everyone else left the stadium, and you're still just sitting out there screaming about how it was unfair and how you're still going to win somehow. It's not possible. I don't know what's going on in her brain. Not much, but this is what's going down in her world with the people she surrounds herself with, namely Steve Bannon, asking her, how, as governor, are you going to get the southern border under control?
As governor, what's going to happen on December 21st with the lifting of Title 42? What is Kari Lake going to do in the first week of January as governor of this state?
Well, we're still going to do what we were planning on doing all along. We are going to declare an invasion, finish President Trump's wall. We're going to have to move some of those barriers out of the way to do that.
Hold. You're going to move some of Ducey's barriers?
I'll tell you this, Steve. I'm going to be honest. Any barrier is better than no barrier, but we're going to put a real wall up.
A real wall.
And we have the right to do that as a state. Article 1, Section 10 in the U.S. Constitution. And so we're going to take back control of our own border. But at the same time, we will have a special session called, and we are going to get to the bottom of these elections.
So we're going to dive into some things, and then I have more clips that are even more cringy in a second here for you of her. But it's just brutal to think about. There's a sect of our country that genuinely believes Kari Lake is becoming governor. That's unbelievable. And then they're listening and thinking, yeah, good policy proposal. And then she cites the Constitution. I think you need to read the Constitution a little more thoroughly, because it would indicate to you that you're not becoming governor because you lost the election. And then she says, we're going to declare an invasion at the southern border, as she's been pushing for. And I've talked about how that language is so dehumanizing, so dangerous. People we're talking about here are looking for a better life. They're not invading our country. It is so dehumanizing. But you know what? Declare whatever you want, because you're going to be just a citizen, and that won't mean anything. It is so wild. And then here's her saying, Steve Bannon saying to the crowd, hey, isn't this Governor Kari Lake?
Did I hear Governor Lake? Is this Governor Kari Lake?
No, Steve, it's not. It's not Governor Kari Lake.
This is amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, and then another, talking about a past analogy we used, it's as if you went to medical school, you failed out, and then you get all your friends to call you doctor still. That's what's going on right now in Kari Lake's world. The whole crowd's cheering, yeah, it's Governor Lake. But it's not, though. You know how, and I have one more clip for you, but you know how sad and distraught and disgusted I would be, or I would have been, if Hillary Clinton was walking around after the 2016 election and going to events and having people call her President Clinton? I would be so watching that. And that's what's happening right now with Kari. You can't even imagine that with Hillary Clinton, because she has some level of dignity to uphold, I guess. Take a look at this last moment with Charlie Kirk, still pretending like a new election could happen.
What is the remedy we're asking for? I think that we need a new election. I think that there needs to be a new election.
Yep. But we can't have the same clowns running this election. We can't put it back into the hands of people who have bungled the election time and time again. And yes,
what is the remedy?
So she won, and she's already governor, and even if she had won, she wouldn't be governor by now. So calling her governor still wouldn't make sense. But she's going to become governor because she won. But also we need a new election because she lost. The logic doesn't make much sense to me. But again, I say the scary part about this, as silly as it is, and to me, how sad it feels almost for her. But then those emotions get pushed out of my brain because the danger of all of this is so much more profound and significant than even how sad or how bonkers it is. And that must be remembered. And that's why we keep talking about this, because so many people in our country are bought into this type of thinking, and it must be confronted and addressed. That's what we do here. It's so wild. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get a full extra show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there's a link in the description.